Hey everyone, I think just about everybody on this call I've met before at one of these meetings or at some event out in the community. Elliot and I keep running into everyone, keep running into each other kind of everywhere we go these days. But my name is Chris Lanning. I'm running for the position of Solicitor General here in Cobb County. I currently serve as the Chief Assistant in the Solicitor General's office. I've been there for 14 of the last 15 years. I've been the chief assistant for going into my 5th year now as chief assistant. I'd echo what Tanisha said and what several others have said, just kind of for starters, that the event on Saturday was fantastic. My family and I came out to that. And we were there for several hours, had a great time. So enjoyed some good food. And this call is kind of sort of a microcosm of the community and the job as I see it. What I mean by that is so many things that come up on these calls. They're pressing to the community, right? Samuel mentioned earlier, try and go out and support some of these local businesses. We left Taste of Mableton after we had some food there. We went to Muya and tried that out, which was fantastic. Good business. But listening, every time I'm on here, Ron always has with the social justice report. It's sort of kind of exactly what's going on in the community, right? The community and the justice system as well. We're dealing with that very thing right now. Mental health issues right now are very pressing in the community. We're seeing those in the courthouse. COVID has made those worse, which is why one of my main platforms on this is coming up with ways to address mental health challenges as we see it. That's a problem that we can't, in the court system, we can't arrest our way out of. We don't need to arrest our way out of. So what we've done, and one of the things I've worked on is a partnership with the chairwoman, Lisa Cupid, where we are really working with the entire public safety apparatus in Cobb County. We have embedded clinicians that are working with our Cobb County Police Department to go out to certain calls for service where we don't need an arrest, where someone needs service, they need help, they need to get in touch with those resources. And there's a lot of resources in Cobb County, but along the way, I think there's been a disconnect with how to put people in touch with those services. So we're working on those type of things so we can hopefully avoid folks coming into the system. Obviously, we need to, like Ron talked about, it's an endemic problem. There's some underlying issues that we all need to be a part of that solution on. But when it comes to the court system, we don't need to contribute to that problem. We need to help those folks find services, keep them out of the system, and then if they get there, help them where they need to go. Talking about, code issues and things like that, that's a huge thing that Solicitor General's office handles. We deal with a lot of code enforcement issues. I talked to Commissioner Sheffield today about some of the, Ms. Delancey would know about this if she's still on. She's there, she is, about some of the apartment complexes in the Riverside area. Some of the issues we're dealing with landlords there that are not taking care of the properties and people are living in certain areas. So we're working to make sure that we get a lot of those places taken care of and cleaned up. It's the enforcement of the solicitor's office. We get to prosecute those cases that people aren't doing what they need to do. So code enforcement is a huge part of it. And at the end of the day, the main thing that I've been doing over the last couple of years, and I think it kind of helps the community as a whole, is this idea of restorative justice. I have taken the lead in our office over the last 4 to 5 years of handling record restrictions, record sealings, partnerships with the Georgia Justice Project, other groups like that, that are working to give folks a second chance. The solicitor's office prosecutes misdemeanor offenses, traffic offenses, ordinance violations, some serious things like family violence, battery, DUIs, and things like that. But there are lots of opportunities in the solicitor's office to give nonviolent first-time offenders a second chance. And we can build on those types of things. We can make those opportunities easier so that when people that come into the solicitor's office, they come in contact with us, they're not bad people for the most part. We're dealing with your neighbors, your friends, and we need to treat them accordingly. And we need to make sure that people that come to court are treated with courtesy, dignity, and respect. And if we have an opportunity to deal with people and send them out better than they came in, that's what we need to be doing. But you can couple that with the fact that we prosecute a lot of domestic violence cases. I've taken the lead on that. I've been our domestic violence prosecutor in the past in our office. Under my leadership, we've created a domestic violence unit last year to specifically focus on the worst domestic violence cases that we have in the office and devote specific resources to those types of charges. And so we're going to keep doing that work. And additionally, I'm on the board for our our Family Justice Center that Cobb County has gotten a lot of grant funding for, kind of a one-stop shop so that we can make sure that victims of crimes and their families are able to get the services they need, get them in the appropriate part of the county where it's needed at. We're in the process of finding a location for that facility now, but the idea will be to have, again, services for anything a victim would need, so they can come in, they can tell their story one time, and someone can facilitate them getting the help they need so that they can also get back to being a productive member of society and not just be defined by them being a victim. And so I think prosecution is it's not an either or proposition. I think we can prosecute cases and keep the community safe while also believing that we need to do the right thing on every case. Because at the end of the day, I think a just Cobb is a safe Cobb. That's been my approach for years, and that's what it will continue to be. And I thank you very much for the time. And I look forward to working with everyone on this call in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.